Hello Libra, welcome to your reading for January and Happy New Year. This is for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. Please make sure you check all your placements to get a clear picture of what's going on for you at this time. As always, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate for all of you. Please take the bits that do resonate and leave the rest behind for somebody else. I'm primarily a love reader. That's what I'm going to focus on. If anything else pops up, I will address it, of course. Now, this deck is absolutely impossible to shuffle. I'm doing my best here. I woke up really early thinking I'm going to start recording early for you guys, and I kept waiting for the room to get lighter, but it just kept getting darker. And then I drew the curtains open and there's a thick, massive blanket of fog. There is absolutely no sun and it is freezing cold. So if the video is darker than you're used to, I apologize. Alrighty, let's see what we have. We have lead. I've just gotten one metal before this, and I think it was for Pisces. They got iron. And we have Chiron. Interesting. Chiron is going direct, if I'm not wrong. I don't know when. I don't have it written down. But let's get to this. I'm going to have to refer to the book because this is still a very new deck for me. Now, lead apparently is ruled by Saturn, which signifies restrictions and burdens, right? But lead is also the metal, it's the first metal that began the alchemical process of turning lead into gold. It is said that lead carries its own secret as well as its own solution. So while lead can be heavy and dense and it can be a weight that you have to carry, it can also transform itself into a thing of beauty, into a thing of wisdom, of intelligence. Interesting. Now, Chiron also carries a similar duality. It carries a similar paradox. It is a half man, a half horse. It's neither a planet nor a star, right? It is a healer, but it's also wounded. So there is something here about balance that is very important for you, Libra, and that's quite perfect. You rule the scales, do you not? You are the justice card. I feel that you're trying to look for the good in a very bleak situation, right? And this could be a difficult relationship. This could be a difficult partner. Seeing the good there, seeing the solution in that secret, seeing the healing in that wounding, right? I feel like a lot of you are carrying scars, and scars that you're proud of, because it's taken a while for you to heal them. I feel that you're becoming very mature when it comes to love, Libra. And that lead is not weighing you down anymore, but you're carrying it proudly because you've managed to turn it into gold. Some of you could very easily be becoming healers because it's taken you so long to heal yourself. You know exactly how to do it. You know exactly the plan of action. So you're willing to help other people get there faster. You know what I mean? But some of you could also be healing a particular connection because that wisdom has been gained and you're not functioning from a low vibration anymore, where you're adding more fuel to the fire. There's a lot of healing here and I like it. Now, we're going to be using two decks today. We're using the Tarot of the Light and the Shadow. I'm going to start off with the Shadow deck to see what it is that we must leave behind in 2023 when it concerns your love life, and what it is that we can embrace with the Light card. Light deck, pardon me. My goodness, the amount of times the Fool has shown up in Shadow for January is absolutely insane. The Fool in Shadow does not calculate the risks. The Fool in Shadow is not taking a leap of faith because he's completed the major arcana and gained that wisdom. The Fool is taking that leap of faith because of lack of experience, right? So you could literally be dealing with a foolish person, somebody who does not have an EQ as high as yours. The Sun in Shadow, ironic, is it not? There's a lot of duality, a lot of paradoxes in your reading today. And some of you may be mighty confused. The Sun in Shadow can be artificial happiness, right? It can be artificial light. It can be glazing over the scars. It's possible that there wasn't too much depth in this connection. And I'm also getting I call it social media happiness, where you're seeing people post on a day-to-day basis and you're just seeing snippets of a few seconds in their lives where they're looking happy and joyous, right? But you don't know what else is going on because no one airs their dirty laundry in public. So it's this could be you, this could be someone you're dealing with, but artificial happiness is being displayed. There isn't too much depth here. The Three of Cups. Gemini had the Three of Pentacles right here, and I'm getting the same energy for you as I did for them. And I don't like to involve third parties in my readings, but if my gut is telling me to, I will. It's possible that there were distractions in this connection. And the depth that we see in your oracle cards, that depth wasn't being experienced. This person could have had a wandering eye, and it's possible that there were too many cooks in the kitchen. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic third party. It's possible that friends were involved. It's possible that friends were a bad influence. It's possible that family was a bad influence. The Six of Cups with the Fool. I'm suddenly getting that this person has such a blasé and careless attitude towards you because they felt that you weren't going anywhere. Because they felt that you've invested too much here to leave, right? That there are too many memories here for you to leave. So I am feeling that this person did take you for granted. That very quickly became a burden, did it not? With lead. It's like you were doing all the work. The Two of Swords. Arguments for argument's sake. The Two of Swords for me is two Ace of Swords crossing each other. Two truths, right? Your truth is true to you, their truth is true to them. When the Two of Swords is in shadow, it's not a healthy debate. This is arguments for argument's sake. This is ego getting in the way. This is doing anything to prove your point. Temperance. I feel like you lost your patience. You lost your patience. Lead can be a very patient metal, right? Because Saturn is a very slow-moving planet. Saturn is not in a rush. It is Father Time, right? But I feel like that patience very quickly waned. Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you or this other person may have gotten restless. And bolted. The Wand suit in the shadow aspect can be very immature, can be very careless energies. The Knight and the Queen of Wands particularly in the light can be very passionate, inspired people, creative people who have a sense of direction. But in the shadow, they can be reckless. So you could have bolted, or this other person could have bolted and entertained other energies. I don't like this. I mean, it's a shadow deck, so naturally I don't like it, but I really don't like it. I'm not going to dwell over that. We know what we need to leave behind. We need to leave behind people who are immature, people who are reckless, people who are careless, people who don't have a high emotional quotient, people who get in the way of healing, right? Let's see the light. We have the moon. Beautiful. The moon in light and the sun in shadow. Would you look at that? Very interesting. The sun represents our physical bodies and our ego. The moon represents our intuition and our subconscious mind and deep feeling and emotions. Ego is taking a back seat, while intuition, the higher self, the inner child, are rising up. Very interesting. Deep conversations that have been due may pick up again. The Ten of Cups. Gemini had the same card in the same position. I'm going to get a few more out before I say anything else. The High Priestess. I absolutely love it. The High Priestess in the light is a very mature person. It is somebody who has a lot of depth of feeling. It is someone who prioritizes subconscious happiness over 3D happiness, over Instagram happiness. This is true peace and calm. This is true joy with the Ten of Cups. How does this other person fit in? I feel like this is you doing the work. Interesting. The Seven of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hierophant. The Magician. Oh, okay then. And the Five of Cups. I feel like because you're elevating, Libra, bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Wands. Because you have been elevating, because you are shining brighter than you were earlier, because you were probably dumbing yourself down for this person, because you are shining brighter, because you are being much more mature than this person is used to, there's a disconnect. There's this feeling of alienation. It's like you're not on the same frequency anymore. And this person with the Five of Cups is left feeling alone and isolated. Whether you are in contact or you're not, if this is a soul tie, like I'm suspecting it is with the Six of Cups, they can feel your energy. They can. And with Chiron, all of that effort that you have been putting into healing yourself, it's taken you out of that pool that you were swimming in with them earlier. And they can't feel you anymore. And because they can't feel you anymore, this Five of Cups very quickly turns into a trigger card. They're triggered. And now, with the Seven of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Nine of Wands, they want to fight for this. Because with the Ten of Cups, it's like they know what they're missing out on. You know, it's like imagine a toddler, right? Creating an absolute ruckus in a candy store, right? Throwing a tantrum, bawling on the floor, thinking that they're going to get some candy. Any candy, it doesn't matter. That candy doesn't have to be you. It could be any candy, right? And the parents ground them. They put them in a timeout. So this person gets nothing from anybody. And suddenly, they know exactly which candy they want. And it was what the parents were offering them in the first place. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting here. I feel like you put this person in a timeout. And now, it's like they've learned their lesson. And a lot of them are manifesting you, Libra, with the Magician card. Because a lot of the investments that they have made within this connection, they're all coming back to haunt them. With the Nine of Wands, the Page of Cups, there they are. An apology coming in. Wanting to fight for this. Slow and steady, but still wanting to come in. This has been a theme for air signs. Gemini had a very similar energy where this person had to grow up very quickly. And now wanting to turn that situation that was full of lead, full of burdens, into gold, into a thing of beauty. Healing the situation. The High Priestess can be very quiet. And regardless of gender, I feel like you have been very quiet because you're formulating your own Ten of Cups. You don't need another person to be in the Ten of Cups energy. You can create it for yourself. Right? But we see a divine match here with the Magician and the High Priestess now. They're trying to elevate. Because you're out of reach. And they're in a state of panic. Interesting. All right, let's get you some dice. We have Capricorn. Could be dealing with a Capricorn. You may have Capricorn heavily in your chart, but surprisingly, Gemini got the same dice. We are in Capricorn season. We have a new moon in Capricorn on the 11th. We have Mars moving into Capricorn on the 4th, and we have Venus moving into Capricorn on the 23rd. And it's interesting why we got Capricorn, because lead is ruled by Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn too. It's like when the cat is away, the mice are at play, the cat's back. And this wishy-washy energy is not going to cut it anymore. There's discipline in this connection that's coming back in. Discipline that was very sorely needed. Then we have Pluto. Beautiful. Pluto has recently gone direct, and it's making a generational transit in 2024. After 15 years of being in Capricorn, it's moving into Aquarius after a little bit of back and forth because of retrograde season. So see where Capricorn is in your chart, right? And even if you can't, if you don't know how to read your birth chart or you don't have your time of birth, see where restrictions have been placed in your life over the last 15 years. That is where restrictions will be lifted and you'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief. That is where the burden is going to be set down. Then we have the number 6. If you have been seeing 666 a lot, this talks about reflection and it being a time now to wake up to your higher spiritual truth, which I feel like you're doing, right? All right, let's see what initials we can get for you here, Libra. Oh, that very quickly turned into Taurus. You see that flip? So again, some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. You may have Taurus heavily in your chart. It doesn't have to be. We have the letters W, O, I, F, Y, T, and the letter C. These could be your initials. They could be the initials of the person you're dealing with. Doesn't have to be. Just a special mention for those of you who've seen your initials here today. All right, Libra, that was it. I hope this helped. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.